In a recent publication by Ofsted, some of the inadequate teaching and learning that had been identified across the country highlighted that teachers had perhaps low expectations of students, there was too much teacher talk, led lessons, and insufficient opportunities were provided for pupils to learn independently, thus meaning that they were then not fully challenged to work hard and achieve their best. So for us as educators, we've got to look at ways in which we can combat this, and I've found through working and researching Twitter feeds and blogs that QR codes is a great way to do that. QR codes then, they stand for quick response codes, and basically they're small little barcodes that you can scan, and they will then take you to a link either straight to a website, a video, or you can link them to some text that you would input. And I'm going to show you a few examples of how I've created them within my classroom in the next few slides. You can create your own QR codes at qrcode.kiowa.com, and it is really simple to do that. All you would do is you would copy a URL into a box, click generate, and the QR code is then created for you, and you can then copy and paste that onto your resource. I'm just going to look at a few examples now of ones that I've created, and you can see that this is a gymnastics one, and I, like Alec in the first presentation, took a lot of inspiration from Joey Faith, and you might have seen this similar template, some of the resources that he's created. Basically the QR code on the left hand side that says video is one that students would just scan as they enter the lesson, and that will just send them and links them directly to a video of gymnasts performing in the Olympics, just to engage them within the lesson and give them an idea of what's going on and what we're going to be looking at. You can then see down the right hand side we've got three other ones, and these QR codes are then differentiated for the ability of each student, so they can work at their own pace and independently throughout the lesson. The top one, when scanned, would link them to some text that would come direct up onto their, either the mobile device or the tablet that they're using, and that would give them a task that they had to do. I think it said something like they have to perform a balance with 3 points of contact with the floor. The next one then, the intermediate drill, would obviously be a more complex task, perhaps 2 points of contact with the floor. And then the final one, the expert, would be an even harder task that they'd have to do. Perhaps they have to, I think it links, come up with some of their own ideas or something. Next resource is something that I've been working on for rugby, and it's pretty much similar concept. There's an introduction QR code in the top right, and that just links to a video of some tackles. I think it was in the recent Six Nations match, just to stimulate the students' interest and give them an idea of what they're going to do and what they're going to be looking at throughout the lesson. There's a couple of then visual examples of the tackles that we're going to be learning throughout the lesson. One slightly harder than the other, obviously, so students can then work at their own pace during that lesson. And then within the middle of the resource, you can see two more QR codes there. And these are examples of different drills that you can perhaps practice, so you can then push the gifted and talented students within your lesson onto actually creating their own drills and coming up with some different ideas and concepts to practice that further. And that's just them two QR codes in the middle are just a reference to help them students along with that. This little comic life that's been created was of a gymnastics lesson that we did a few weeks ago, and basically I created plenty of QR codes and stuck them up around the room, and each QR code revealed a different way that the students had to travel around the sports hall. Once again, the students were working independently, and they could go up and scan the QR code, and on different ones there was ways in which you could make the activity easier or harder, so students were then working independently to their own attainment level. And it's not embedded. If you Lee, I don't know if you can copy and paste those YouTube links into the bar for the guys to watch and have a look at. But what you'll see from those YouTube clips are just a couple of examples of how the resource has been used by students. It's just a video linking that'll link to students using the QR codes within the lesson and how they actually use it on their device and how they can move from one task to another. Well, if you look at them in your own time, perhaps after the presentation, you'll get a bit more of a feel for it and how it works, just some interactive videos of the students actually using them within lessons. And alright. So yeah, you can look at them in your own time, and it's coming up now. Yeah. Alright, so yeah, look at that in your own time, and